Finish the job, son.
Eliza, honey, he's coming for you.
Hey Mojoholics, I am Rebecca, and with me as always is resident movie reviewer Eric Cohen, and welcome to Mojo at the Movies. Today, Eric's going to tell us 3 reasons that you guys need to see Shape of Water.
Shape of Water, new movie from Guillermo Del Toro, and that's reason number 1 is Guillermo Del Toro. This guy really, as a director, he skips around from style to style and from genre to genre. I mean, he's done comic book heroes with Hellboy. He's done kaiju movies with Pacific Rim. Pan's Labyrinth is like
dark fantasy thriller. I don't even know. Yeah. And Crimson Peak is a horror movie.
Yeah. And so this one is a romantic movie involving a sea creature.
Obviously.
As you do. So, but it works because he always, even though he really jumps around from style to style, there's a signature feel to his movies. There's always something fantastic or fantastical. And they always have some sort of weird creature that's a little bit marginalized from society. So this fits right in, and apparently his next movie actually is going to be Pinocchio. So
oh my goodness.
I don't know what he's going to do with Pinocchio, but everything fits. And so this is the story of Eliza, and she is a mute custodian, a cleaning lady at a secret lab in Baltimore in 1962, where at one point, early on in the movie, they bring in this creature, top secret creature that they found in a river in South America, and she's just cleaning and happens to fall in love with this creature.
I feel like the plot summary of this movie does not do it justice because it seems ridiculous, and you're like, how does this make a movie that's coherent and watchable? But
and really does a very good job of it. And that really can be attributed, that's the next reason you should see this, is the acting. I mean, the acting is so well done. Sally Hawkins plays Eliza. And Sally Hawkins, we know her, she really kind of became familiar to, I guess, most North American audiences with Blue Jasmine. But then she's also been in Paddington, which, by the way, is a great, great kids movie. And I'm looking forward to Paddington 2.
That's cute.
But I digress. So she does a great job, and especially because she plays a mute, and you would think that the tendency would be to overact.
Yeah, go over the top. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't use your words, then you use your body language, and all too often, I think people would go way too far with that. And she walks that line so well. She's very expressive with her eyes and with her face, and there's this kind of luminous quality to her acting. But she's not the only one. I mean, she carries the movie. One of the major standouts, of course, is Michael Shannon.
Right.
I mean, he shines in every movie that he's in, and he always plays a baddie. And of course, well, almost always.
Almost always.
And he plays a baddie in this one, Strickland, who's just like maniacal. And Shannon is so good in everything he does. Apparently, the story goes, while they were on set, his name became synonymous with, you Shannoned it. In other words, if you nailed it in your first take, then it's that scene was Shannoned. And so, he's a great presence in this movie, and he really adds a lot to the story as the big bad mean guy. It doesn't hurt that she also has Octavia Spencer playing her very chatty best friend. Her neighbor across the hall is played by Richard Jenkins, and he's
one of those that guy actors.
Right, exactly.
I think our audience would know him from Cabin in the Woods. He's one of the 2 workers in the, well, I'm giving away the plot of that movie.
Right, exactly.
But anyway.
And also 6 Feet Under. He's the dad in 6 Feet Under,
Right.
and I love this actor. And he plays a guy who's kind of, he's a commercial, he's an artist for commercials or poster art in the 1960s, and he's frustrated because he's gay, but he can't really come out of the closet because it's not really accepted in those times, and he's in love with the guy who works at the pie shop down the street. And speaking of pie, by the way, key lime pie plays a big role in this movie, as do green, gelatinous green, teal green, everything is green, so the color palette, it plays a big role. The symbolism of water, I mean, the art department and the production department, they really go into fine detail, and everything just looks right. Now everything envelops you in this movie.
Sounds like Oscar bait.
Well, already it's got 14 nominations at the Critics' Choice, so it's beat everybody else at Critics' Choice. I was talking about actors, so there's also Doug Jones, who plays
Can't forget him.
the creature, and he plays the creature in all of Del Toro's movies, and he's very much inspired by the creature from the Black Lagoon. And the story goes, Del Toro was inspired when he saw that movie. He was 7 years old and he saw it, and he didn't like the way it ended. He wanted the characters in that movie to end up in kind of a romantic situation, and so he used to draw himself. He would draw like the creature from the Black Lagoon and the woman, going on dates and eating ice cream together and all this stuff. And so he always wanted to.
Such a bizarre thing.
Well, he's a bizarre guy,
Yeah.
right?
No. Yeah. Fair.
And so he was having a meeting with one of the writers from Troll Hunters, who said, "Yeah, I have this idea about a woman working in a lab who brings home a creature that is being tested on." And Del Toro right there just
Sold.
said, "Yeah, he bought it from him right there." He said, "That paragraph, I just want to buy that from you," and that became the impetus for this. So this movie, I mean, the character of the creature is inspired by the creature of the Black Lagoon, and apparently Del Toro also instructed Doug Jones to think about the Silver Surfer. The way he kind of stands. He's very muscular, this character.
He's a sexy monster.
He's a pretty attractive monster for what it's worth, and I guess it has to be if you want to create a believable love story between a woman and a creature, then you have to make him look pretty cool. Yeah. And so
it sounds kind of like an old school monster movie, but with that old school romance going on.
Yes, and that would be another reason to see this movie, is the reverence for all things old Hollywood. So in the movie, she introduces the creature to old music, Benny Goodman, and old movies. There's Bojangles. There's references to tap dancing, and she lives upstairs from an old theater that I think was filmed at the Elgin Theatre in Toronto, which is a beautiful old, gorgeous theatre from back in the day. And so, and her next door neighbor, Richard Jenkins, they're always watching these tap movies, and sometimes they kind of even get into almost tap dance routines. And there's even a scene where it just goes black and white, and it's almost like a dream sequence where Eliza and the creature are engaged in like they're like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers just dancing through, and then the water kind of envelops them, and it's all very dreamy. It's very cool, and I guess if I were to come away with anything, I would say that this movie, it's kind of like Creature from the Black Lagoon meets Beauty and the Beast meets E.T. Meets Free Willy, directed by Wong Kar-wai, and all of this because Del Toro.
Of course.
Right. So, in anybody else's hands, this would never, ever work. I mean, I'm just imagining the pitch meeting where he's like, okay, so here's the idea.
No, that's what I'm saying. I find that the pitch of this movie makes no sense, but...
And yet when you saw the trailer, you went,
yes, when I saw the trailer, I said, you know what? It makes sense. I see it.
Because he has that style. And apparently he only went to one studio. He went to... was it Fox Searchlight, and he said, here's my idea, and they said, sold, let's do it.
There you go.
And so those are reasons you should see it, and those are reasons you should see it.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
I deliver. What'd you say to me? What did she say?
What is she saying?
She is saying thank you.
Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.